Are you ready?
Hey everybody, irashaimase. It's me, Andre Salazar. Welcome to the Art of Comics, where we talk about comics, graphic novels, art, fine art, illustration, all that kind of stuff, do little adventures. I love stories. I love art. Comics is all about that. I have a Patreon where I do my own comics. That's right, I do comics. Check it out, Andre Salazar, or was it Andre J. Salazar, my Patreon. I have a website where I sell my work. You don't even have to buy it, but you can take a look at it at andresalazarart.com. I have an art gallery solo exhibition next month. May 3rd is the opening in Ventura, California. If you want to come to it, check it out. If you want to see the work that's going to be there, you can go to the website. I'm actually going to create a price list and allow people online to buy the work that'll be at the exhibition. So if you're interested in that, I'll ship you some paintings, because that's what I'm doing a lot of. Now we're doing a double feature. We're part 2 of the double feature. We did Akira. Now we're going to do Sin City, That Yellow Bastard. I'm excited because I do love Sin City. This is like very interesting because you have something super tight, super grounded in the real world. And as I said before in this episode, this Akira episode, it's not very expressive. It's just pretty much repeatograph, showing reality. This is kind of the opposite, where it's very expressive, it is abstract, it is highly emotional, and it's very different. So a yin and a yang, which is kind of cool, actually, when I think about that. You know what I think I might start doing, actually? Instead of just doing one episode, I might start doing this like 2 comics, compare and contrast. That might be actually kind of fun. So, we're not doing that today, though. We are. But today, we're just doing this, because I did that one and everything. I could combine them, but let's get these out. Okay, so, yeah. I did an episode. So, I've bought some things from Miller, of course. I bought the Ronin book, the big mama huge monster Ronin. I bought the Dark Knight, which I haven't even shared with you guys. I bought that at Comic-Con. You do that. And I did an episode of just Sin City, that first story, Sin City. But this one, Yellow Bastard, might be my favorite. I don't know. I love A Dame to Kill For. I love the original. This one might be my favorite, though. I don't know. It's hard to say. But it's great. I love it. And this is part 6 of 6. And the reason why we're just going right here is because we don't need the whole damn thing to tell this. And I bought this at a swap meet for $1. So that's how we're rolling. So let's do this right now. Okay. Can we just begin with kind of just taking a look at this and what he's doing? Because this is it's a beautiful image. It's a hug. It's a little shared hug here with Nancy and Hartigan. And it's the way it's done. This is all brushwork. You can kind of tell the unevenness. This idea of shape. Now, he didn't come up with this, right? There had been guys before him. What's the French or Spanish guy who did Torpedo? Albert something, maybe? There's guys in Europe who had this kind of style, who kind of used these shapes and used these high contrast things. So it wasn't like he originated, but he definitely popularized it here in the U.S. And he kind of moved it with his milieu, the things that he was interested in. And I think it is pretty cool. So, I really love the way you erase, lines are being erased, things are coming together and melding. The hair is beautiful. There's these little touches of detail with these big blocks. It's just really good. It's a very well done piece. And so this style, which is super high contrast, black and white, shape-based, expressionistic line work, we'll call it for short, is freaking badass. And it was what captivated, I think, everybody. And the fact that these are like hard crime stories, you know, stuff that he was into, which was dames and guns and bullets and these like pulpy stories from the, you know, 40s or 30s. And like I said, this is 6 of 6. So this is the last. This is the end of the road here, literally, for these guys. It talks a lot about hell. Gone to hell. Going straight to hell. Hell, hell, hell. And it's interesting because there is another story later on he does called Hell and Back, which is kind of a fun, another very different story. But, you know, great shape here. We know it's a rope. We don't need to see them kind of like the intertwined lines, you know. We don't need that. It's, you know, in fact, what the fuck? Let's just like go crazy. Watch this, guys. Watch me destroy a comic. I'm going to use this marker because I don't care about this comic, right? This is educational purposes. Watch this. So if I were to go like this, right? Well, maybe it's like that. Maybe that's not the right kind of like mix. But if I were to like do this, right? Actually doesn't look horrible, but hopefully I'm not messing up my, right? If I do something like that, okay, it still is fine, right? It doesn't look bad. I still get it. But without those lines, there's just, that shape is just, to me, more powerful than like putting that work in there, right? He could go in here and he could like, you know, do the teeth, right? And that doesn't look horrible. In fact, if I just sit there, it looks, oh yeah, that looks right. But without it, you know, you distilling down those things that are the most important. Okay, you can even go, am I just going to draw this? This episode has now just become, I'm going to Salazar redraws it, you know. I could go like here, right? And actually, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look bad at all. But without it, it's, you know. So it's just something to think about. And then there's things like this, right, where you kind of like. So he's looking for places to just take away line work. The story is pretty crazy. It's a revenge story. It's a story about protection and love. It's really revenge, though. The Yellow Bastard is this kid who Hardigan, I think he was a pedophile or a rapist or something, son of a powerful, I think, senator, if I recall, nephew of a pope or some kind of bishop in Las Vegas, and he gets castrated. I think Hardigan castrates him, and to keep him alive, they gave him this like serum to keep him alive, but it kind of like gave him this yellow tinge, like a jaundicey kind of color to his body and a stink to it and everything. And so he's still this perverted bastard, and now he's getting revenge on this guy who did this to him. He finds out that the cop, Hardigan, was protecting this girl, Nancy. And Nancy's now a little, not a little kid, but now she's a stripper, beautiful woman, and so he's gonna take his revenge. This is beautiful. This is also just very freaking well done, and his sense of anatomy is kind of dissipating to become more expressionistic, right? Moving into the abstract for sure. So notice also he yellows the eyes. So he yellows the whole thing, just a flat color. There's no definition or anything. It's just boom. And I think that works. I think if we were to like do different shades of yellow, it wouldn't work as well. Because again, we're dealing with two-dimensional images. The only three-dimensional part of this is the form, the shape of the form. So we're not really trying to like create, you know, a three-dimensional image here in a way. In a way, we want it flattened, so that kind of like flattens it out. It's a style choice. But I love the camera. I love how he's able to put so much in a panel. I mean, look at how much he put. Look at all that information. He put 2 heads, the eyes, and all his dialogue. He put all that in that panel. That is not easy to do, sir. As a guy who's done a lot of small panels, putting that and getting those words in there is very hard. You really have to be good at it. And he is. And notice he put this nice big blacks in there too. So this panel, now that I think about it, this panel really shows the master at work. So put that in your sandwich. He's grabbing titties, and yeah. So I mean, yeah, I love these blacks. It's just really cool. And then here we have an open panel. He's gonna choke him, and he kicks the table. Boom, you're toast, brother. And there he is. Great, like silhouette, reverse silhouette type. But he puts in here to kind of show definition, so we see something. If this was all white, it wouldn't work. You wouldn't be able to read it. You just see the big blob. So you need to have some blacks in there for his balls and for his pectoral right there. That works. Anyway, what he could have did, he didn't do this either. And I'm just going to ruin this book some more. We need to, what should we label? We should call this like remakes. So if he would have did this, right? Let me see this, make sure this thing works here. If he would have said, okay, I want this though, right? To show the line. He could have did that. And I think that would work, but I think it's better without it, right? He probably tried various ways. I mean, what we see is the final version, but I bet you bottom dollar he drew it many times and added, took away, added, removed until he got it where he wanted visually more interesting. It's no mistake that this looks like a big ass long penne, right? This is like deliberate, even though that's the space between the legs. So there's things he's playing with. Great work though. I love this stuff. No. Look at, and this is great too. I love the blinds. By the way, if you have blinds like these, they're such a pain in the ass. I hate them, but Venetian blinds, I think they're called. But yeah, the Venetian blinds are cool. He's swinging, which kind of doesn't make sense. The shapes here, it's just so freaking cool, dude. People say like, oh, this would be so quick to draw. Not necessarily, because again, he is drawing this stuff and he's just removing it. But he had to render these freaking vehicles. That little like Lamborghini or actually that's not a Lamborghini, it's a Ferrari. So he had to do the Ferrari, he had to do all this, and then just take away stuff. Oh, these are the 2 guys. They're like Gilbert and Hammerstein or something. I forgot what the names of these two knuckleheads are. They're like, yeah, they just talk in a very verbose kind of erudite way. Mr. Clump. Yeah, they're Mr. Schlub and Mr. Clump. They're pretty fun. He's got their rod. He's got a big ass gun, the big Desert Eagle, whatever that is. Hand cannon. It's going after him. And then this is completely like ridiculous in the physical world, right? Like when we're talking about Akira, right? This none of this would fly. This is very much built around reality. And here we're really moving into the, I guess, cartoon world, if you would say. It's just expressionistic. It's showing emotion. Proportions are off, perspective is off to create dynamic things. Oh, we're at the farm. And the farm stuff, I wonder if he's reused this, because I think some of these silhouette images we've seen in other places when he goes to the farm. Oh yeah, there's what's his face from Yeah, if I recall now, I think about it, the timetable, this happens before the events of the first book, Marv story. Because as you know, he dies in that one. So, spoiler. It's great shape. I mean, it's really, just going back and looking at this, guys, I think about like, wow, man, I really want to go back and make something like this. Like, you want to be careful about emulating it too much, but man, gosh, it's just so fun. And it's just so fun. Some people didn't like it. Some people thought it was juvenile, what have you, and I get that. I could understand it, but I think there's a lot of craft in here. This is great. Great silhouette. And notice, look to how he does the shadow. It's a shadow, but there's these like barn. It doesn't really make sense, but it's cool visually, just to keep the slats, the light from the slats coming through over his. Of course, that wouldn't be the case, but it just looks cool. So, creative license. Oh, there's Nancy. Get a little more distressed. And now we're starting to do some killing. And now he's gonna freaking kill us. Oh, stabs him in the heart. Just kills him straight up. That's it. And he grabs him by the junk. Oh, snap. He just crunches him. I take his weapons away from him. Both of them. Because he's a rapist, right? That's the deal. 8 years, you son of a bitch. After a while, I'm pounding wet chunks of bone into the floorboard, so I stop. So long, Junior. It's been a pleasure. I didn't scream. Not once. I didn't scream. I know, darling. You grew up strong. And so now, he's like, okay, go take the Ferrari and get out of here. I'm leaving. You're not coming? Nope. He knows that he's got to be done. He knows that, like, Senator Rourke would come after him. It would just be bad. Everybody's going to get killed. It would be horrible. So it's like, he's done. So the only way to beat him is to end it. An old man dies, a young woman lives. Fair trade. I love you, Nancy. There you go. Pretty good, man. Pretty freaking good. I'm a freaking fan, dude. Yeah, I think it's excellent. Excellent book. There you go. Now I'm kind of want to reread it. So there you go. So thanks for watching. Maybe I probably won't like just destroy comics more, but that was kind of fun just to show you what I'm talking about. Take care, guys. Bye.